What's up, Tsla family? It's Ray J back with another video. And in this one, I want to give you guys a very quick update on Tesla SPY and the overall market. Just know that I am not a financial planner, so take nothing I say as financial advice. And also, if you guys can, please check out my Webull link. If you deposit any amount of money, you're guaranteed 12 free stocks. If you deposit $500 or more, you're guaranteed 20. Deposits $2,000 or more, and you're guaranteed 40. The offer ends very soon in just 2 weeks. Anyways, for Tesla, I just wanted to mention that we did a good job of trying to push upon this open, hitting just under this 360 resistance. But since we hit that, Tesla's been struggling to break past 360. We've been shuffling with the market for almost the entire day thus far. So the question is, what's going to happen from this point on? Let's talk about some key levels in just a minute. Just know this: Tesla's launching an Apple Watch app. This is making a lot of headlines right now, and this is going to be part of their holiday update. What's very cool about that is that Tesla's packing in some big features into the next holiday update. That this allows for a digital phone key for the Apple Watch, Sentry Mode security video access from your phone, and reverse cross traffic alert safety add-ins for the Santa mode for the Cybertruck. I think this is pretty cool with this update coming out by next week. This allows people to do a lot of things just from their watch itself. This also allows them to see the status of their car, remotely warm up their cars, do all kinds of really cool things, at least from the Apple Watch itself. So very cool update from Tesla. I think this is going to be very useful for a lot of their owners, and I think it's very awesome. On top of this, when it comes to the data that just came out, everything was very close to expectations. The manufacturing PMI report was a little bit above expectations. Everything else was quite close and quite decent. That's why the market has held up so far. The question is, what's happening at this point? So let's now just focus on the charts. So Tesla has this tough resistance. We went about 358 to 360 in this range. And notice that Tesla did not just break through that, it kind of struggled at least way up there. So the way this kind of goes, we have this resistance to watch for way up here. We're going to be watching to see if Tesla could try to break past this or not. But this is going to be acting as our resistance zone, at least for the time being. And then if we can't break past that resistance, we remain in this range. The first support that's very notable is going to be around this 350 area. That's close to our 20 EMA. If that fails us, the next support is going to be our 50 EMA, which is where this gap fill happens to be at this 345 area. So if Tesla ends up dipping and we end up losing 350, we're looking for essentially the gap fill for 345. As long as we're above 350, we could try to retest 358. As of right now, we're very choppy, so be careful if you're trading options. The market's been trading sideways so far, so we have to give this some time to develop. Tesla will likely continue to trade sideways between 350 and 358 for the majority of the day. And that's all I'm seeing for now. Now, is it possible to get a breakout later? Yes, but I want to see it break past this high right here because Tesla looks quite good over here. If you look at like the 4-hour time frame, there's a potential cup and handle like structure. So this could lead to a lot more upside later on. My only concern is the risk of us coming down to fill this gap first before it tries to break out later. But the cup and handle remains valid, and we'll see if this leads to breakout later on. The issue with this is that we have a very tough resistance here at this 360 area, and Tesla needs more time to get that breakout. Whether we get this dip first or continue to break out, it may take some time. So that's the reason why we're not officially like extremely bullish to the point where we're breaking out. Tesla's not breaking out yet, it's just range bound. So just keep that in mind. Right now, Tesla is range bound. If we do break this resistance up here, this very tough resistance at the 360 area, then we're looking for a big breakout. Otherwise, we're just completely range bound. All right. As far as SPY goes, it's the same thing. We pumped upon open to about 603.6, dumped back down to 602.5. We've been going back and forth in this range so far. So to me, it looks like SPY is going to be range bound for the time being, going back and forth between supply and demand. If we lose 602.4, though, there's going to be a risk of a bigger dip to about the lower 602 area. Otherwise, the SPY is just completely range bound. And I think we're going to likely continue to do that. So SPY looks range bound to me. ES is also, it's been range bound for the most part. It's shuffling between 60-50, not to mention 60-60, going back and forth and back and forth. We could see this dip closer to about 60-47, but I just see a lot of choppy price action. We want to see this thing lose 60-42 to turn more bearish in order for us to really see this thing dip towards the 60-25 area. Otherwise, it's just completely range bound, basically the same thing as SPY. As far as Nvidia goes, we are looking decent. We pushed very nicely to 140, Came back down to 138. As long as we hold 138, this could be a sign of reversal because when you look at the 4-hour time frame, we're doing a good job on Nvidia, trying to get back above 140. So I think we're completely range bound right now between 138 and 140, but there is upside potential if we manage to break past 140.3. So overall, great job by Nvidia. For Bitcoin, we pumped very nicely. We want to see if this could break past 98,000 or not. If we lose 95,999, we could be dipping lower for about 94,800. But as long as we're above 96,500, we're favoring a push for 98,000 plus and even more upside. There's a slanted inverse central like structure, which could lead to more upside for these higher levels. But overall, we're doing a good job at holding up. I think we still favor 98,000 plus. For other tickers out there, we also happen to have NQ looking bullish. We called out 21,100 as our target. We're actually breaking through that. And the next resistance now is right over here around this 21,000 or almost 21,200 area. So we'll see if we break that or not. Overall, this does look more bullish. As long as we don't lose 21,000, we're favoring upside. Our next target is going to be around this 21,265 area. I think we're doing a good job so far. If you look at the QQQ, we're more bullish. We're trying to push for that 515 area. We could push a little bit more to approach that. We'll have to see what kind of reaction we get because it is near the all-time highs. And we have tough resistance between 512 and 516. So we could push for 516 almost, and we'll see what happens after that. If we end up losing 510, we're looking for a dip, but otherwise, we're still doing a good job. For Apple, we look more bullish. We managed to break past 238 for the 240 target. If that breaks, we have 242 coming next. It is a tough resistance, though. And the main support's at 238. As long as we don't lose that, we still favor upside. For other factors out there, we have the IWM. This is range bound right here. If we lose 240.46, we're looking for essentially 238. As long as if we're above 242, we remain more bullish. So far, I look for a test of 240. We're kind of consolidating right now, so we just remain range bound. If 240 fails us, we'll turn more bearish. Otherwise, we're just range bound. Coin is also range bound right here. We have this main support to watch for at this 292 area, and we have resistance very close to about 314. So I think we're going to likely be range bound here, and we could be pushing closer to about 314, but then be stuck in this range is the most likely possibility. For Amazon, we look more bullish as long as we do not lose this support at this 209 area. I think we favor trying to push higher for 212 and eventually going up to about 215. So I think there's some upside potential, and Amazon is doing a good job at holding up. Meta is a big winner right now. It managed to break past resistance. We're looking for essentially a target of 592 as long as we're above 590. Microsoft is more bullish as long as we do not lose 430. We're favoring 434 or above. And then Google looks more bullish as long as we don't lose 171. I think we're still favoring trying to get up to about 174. So overall, guys, the market does look a bit more bullish than bearish, but I do want to warn you guys to be a little careful with SPY and Tesla as we're just shuffling between our key levels. And also for like Tesla, we are still range bound right here. Be a little bit wary of this gap down here. So if we end up losing like 350, we could come down to fill that gap. Otherwise, Tesla's just continuing to shuffle, and we have to give it more time in between these areas. With that being said, guys, I thank you all so much for listening. We're in a shuffling market for now, but give the market some more time to develop, and we'll see which way we end up breaking. Please have a great rest of your day. I'll see you guys very soon in my next video in just a couple of hours. Until then, thank you and peace out.